Hey coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. And today we're going to look at the 1970 Kennedy Half from the United States of America. Just a beautiful coin. Here's the deal with the 1970 Kennedy Halves. Almost all of them are going to be just a beautiful coin because they did make business strikes, but they didn't circulate them. Those of you who know what a business strike is, essentially the business strike is the circulated coin which goes out to the banks and everybody uses. Now there are also proof strikes for the mint sets, and there's some specialty strikes. Say in 1967 they had the special mint sets. Those were different strikes. What happened in 1970 was they were considering making a US $1 coin, and they were considering going away from the Kennedy half, and in 1970 they made a bunch of Denver mint halves, and this is the only mint mark you're going to see on a circulating coin from 1970 is the D mint mark, but they decided not to circulate them. So they made 2.15 million of these. What's on the back? We haven't even talked about that yet. Of course, the back says United States of America, E pluribus unum here in the ribbon that the eagle, the American eagle has in its beak. On the left is a olive branch. On the right is arrows. Down here we see an F and a G. The engraver of the back of this coin was Frank Gasparo. And down at the very bottom it says $half. In this shape right here, it's probably worth $8 to $9. When we look at this, you see there's these gouges. There's these track marks here. There's some more track marks here. Some more here. This is how it actually comes out of the mint. So if you get any of the newer coins, you'll see, and I'll show you one of the newer coins. In fact, I'll show you the 2022 in a second. If you get one of the newer coins, you'll see these gouges too. And it actually, what happens is the edge of the coin right here hits another $half when they're cleaning them and before they're bagged, or even sometimes after they're bagged, and it makes the gouges. All right, so we see the D here. This is just a regular Kennedy half. It says Liberty at the top, in God underneath Kennedy's chin. We trust behind him. If we go way down in here, we see the G and R entwined. That's Gilroy Robert. Down here, we see the D, and then at the very bottom, we see the 1970. They did make another half in 1970, and that is the San Francisco Mint half. Those halves are worth a minimum of somewhere around $12, but those, of course, are going to be proof halves. And so it's going to be a proof 65 grading rather than a mint state 65 grading. If you can get this coin in a mint state 65 grading, and there's plenty of them out there, it's worth about $100. How can you get this coin? Well, you can buy it separately, or you can buy it in the 1970 mint set. The uncirculated mint sets from 1970, they made 2 million of them. They only made in a D, called a PDS set, the Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco mint set, but it only had one half in it, and that was the D half, because that's all they made that year. As far as the S mint marks, in 1970, they made 2.6 million of these San Francisco mint sets. What's the difference? Look at this. This looks pretty silverish, right? In 1970, they had a 40% silver coin, and that's what this is. The regular circulation coin was a 40% silver. This one over here that looks a little bit of tarnish, this is a 90% silver, and that's the 1964. The only year they had 90% silver was 1964. From 1965 to 1970, they had 40% silver. And then in 1971, they moved to a copper nickel-clad copper coin. So if you hold them up together, you can see the difference. If you weigh them, their original 1964 $half, Kennedy half dollar, weighed 12.5 grams, the 90% silver. From 65 to 70, it weighed 11.5. So it went from 12.5 to 11.5 grams. And then when they came out in 1971 with the clad, it went from 11.5 to 11.34 grams. So if you just weigh these coins, you can tell which ones are silver, and you can actually, in a sense, tell how much silver's in them. The heaviest one has the most silver. The next one down is this 1970. And it has about 40% silver. The melt value of this coin alone is $3. There are coins in an MS67, and they've actually found some MS67 pluses. NGC looks at this coin as a $7,500 coin if it's in MS67, and it just goes up from there. If you look for these mint sets from 1970, make sure that it's a full mint set. A lot of people have gone and taken the half dollars out because they're worth more than the whole mint set. There's another thing that came up in 1970, and that was they had the large date and small date cents, 1 cent Lincoln cents. So in 1970, they came out with this mint set, and it has, some of them have a small date, and those mint sets are worth $50 or more. A regular mint set is booked at about $20. If you can find one of these 1970 mint sets for, I would say, under $15, I would buy it. Now, as I said, they continued making these in 1971 as a copper nickel clad copper, and I've actually got this year's Denver Mint coin, which is just a really shiny coin, and this is the 2022 coin. Everything's the same, so it's all shinier. It's a copper nickel clad copper, same back. And this is just beautiful, right? You won't see a back this good or this detailed very often, but the only way you can get the 2022 coins is to order them from the mint, or order them from a dealer who ordered them from the mint. So they still make them. They don't make them for general circulation, and you have to order them if you want them. All right, well, that's it for our 1970. Sorry we don't have any no mint mark coins from 1970 for the half dollars because they didn't make any. Have a great day from DC Coinwell International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to the channel and leave any comments you might have in the comments section.